Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Rupesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Veshtani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Bandhayate Girim Yat Kripadamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So Hare Krishna to all the devotees who have managed to survive for the last 20 days. So today will be the last chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It's been a wonderful journey just to look at the way in which Bhagavad Gita can actually help us transform our lives, transform our inner world. Because it's the inner world that is reflected in the way you interact with the world outside. So before we begin with chapter 18, we'll look at a quick summary of chapter 17. So chapter 17 was titled Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, faith under the influence of the three gunas. So in chapter 14, Krishna had introduced the topic of the three gunas. And we said the three gunas permeates everything, including everything that we do, the way we think, our lifestyles, our attitudes, our behaviors. And it shapes who we are. And but then a question is asked by Arjuna at the beginning of 17th chapter as to what happens to those who are not necessarily following the scriptures, but at the same time, they have some belief systems and therefore they follow those belief systems. And in this context, Krishna had talked about faith, determination, knowledge, charity, austerity, yajna, all of this being influenced by the three gunas. So it is almost like a continuation of what was started in chapter 14. So Krishna says that, at the end of the chapter, Krishna concludes by saying that anybody who does not have faith in him specifically, while they're doing any of these activities that he's talked about, he says all of this will become asat. Asat means impermanent. In other words, you can say it's a waste of time. What is permanent for you is your spiritual credits. Your material credits are temporary because you can only exercise them within the material world. So Krishna talks about even renunciation, determination, all of these things influenced by the three gunas. And therefore, the important thing for anybody who's undertaking any of these activities is to do it in the mood of being in Shuddha Sattva state. So everything that you do should be connected to Krishna. So anything and everything that you do which is connected to Krishna is what makes it Om Tat Sat. that Om means you're invoking Krishna in his Brahman feature. Tat means you're ready to offer everything to him. And Sat means you're satisfied that you're doing this in service of Krishna. So in this way, Krishna actually concludes the chapter. The 17th one, right? So we looked at everything under the influence of the three gunas. And Krishna says again that ultimately he is the enjoyer of everything. So if he is the ultimate Purusha, then everything has to be offered to him. So this is the essence of the 17th chapter. So in the material world, we are taught that faith and knowledge don't go hand in hand. That faith actually opposes knowledge. But the Gita teaches us that the faith actually builds knowledge. If you have faith in anything, then from there that acts as a basic foundation for us to develop our knowledge. Of course, any knowledge that Krishna is talking about is spiritual knowledge, nothing else. So that brings us to chapter 18. Chapter 18, the single word summary for chapter 17 was faith. And the faith is in Om Tat Sat. As per the Vedic scriptures, everything should be offered to the enjoyer, Krishna. Anything that you do. So, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga is the title of today's chapter. It is the longest chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. So it will take us a little longer time today, maybe, to finish the chapter. Because essentially it is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So again here, we learned that the first 6 chapters focus on Karma Yoga, the middle 6 chapters focus on Bhakti Yoga, and the last set of chapters focus on that jnana that is necessary to perform Bhakti Yoga. So why is Bhakti in the center? It is covered on both sides by hard coverings like Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Because, the most delicate thing is protected. If you look at a sandwich, whatever is in between the sandwich is protected by 2 layers of bread that can hold everything together. So the filling is protected here. The Bhakti Yoga is protected on either side. So chapter 13 was about the 6 items of knowledge. Chapter 14 was about the 3 gunas. Chapter 15 was about the Vedas and the GPS system. Chapter 16 was about demoniac qualities and divine qualities. Chapter 17 was all about faith under the influence of the 3 gunas. And now we're going to come to the summary section. So you will see a lot of things repeated. So I may just fly by some of these slides because we've already discussed it. So the first 18 shlokas, Krishna is summarizing Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Actually, the chapter begins with Arjuna asking a question. Which is better? A sannyasi or a tyagi? And Krishna will say both are on the path of spiritual realization, but a tyagi is better than a sannyasi. In the sense, he doesn't give up anything. He just adds Krishna to the equation, and in this way, he becomes detached from all things that are material. So Krishna will come back to the concept of performing your duties and responsibilities. So here Krishna says, Etyan apitu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani time maphartha nischitam matamuttamam. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Pritha. That is my that is my final opinion. You can see my screen, right? You can see the shloka? Yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, coming back to the topic, essentially Krishna is saying, whatever Varna Ashrama you are part of, we should do our duty as much as possible without attachment for results. This Krishna has already talked about in chapter 5 under the Nishkama Karma Yoga section. So, why should we not be attached to the results? We'll see shortly in the upcoming shlokas. So, essentially, Krishna will say in response to Arjuna's question that sannyas is taken for purification. Tyaga is also done for the purpose of purification. Therefore, the best way to purify yourself is to simply perform your duties and responsibilities without attachment to results. So, in this way, we will achieve balance in our life. Therefore, Krishna selects Tyagi to be in a better position than a sannyasi. For a sannyasi, you could say it is almost like an artificial rejection of everything: family, bank account, money, attachments. Everything is just artificially rejected. That does not mean that their position is low. They are actually at the highest position. Between the four varnas and ashramas, sannyasis are considered to be the highest. But since predominantly the whole of Bhagavad Gita is actually being addressed to grihasthas, so he is reassuring the grihasthas that you don't have to become a sannyasi to come back to me. You just do your duties, you will be purified. And hence Krishna is talking about repeating the theme that do your duties and responsibility. That is your focus actually. Don't expect any results. Yeah? So, so in the 14th shloka, Krishna says, Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha prithak vidham vividhascha prithak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. So earlier we heard about the 3 doers, the Jivatma, the Paramatma, and Prakriti. Now we were talking about the 5 endeavors that are the causes of action. It all begins with a desire. So, for example, if you take this 18-day session, you are seeing me in front of you. You are seeing these slides. But somebody actually worked on these slides, and that was not me. Somebody had to do marketing and campaigning to get you to join the group so you can attend these classes. Somebody has to keep track of the attendance. Somebody is posting the quiz links. Somebody will evaluate the quiz. Somebody has to issue the certificate to you at the end of this program once you finished all the 18 chapters, quizzes. So you can see how many people are involved in just one activity, because no single person can do everything on their own. It's right from making the posters to making calls to you to remind you to come and attend the class. So many volunteers were involved. So many volunteers. But the face of this whole program is me, the person who is actually taking you through this content, through these slides. And more importantly, if you did not have an interest, none of us would be doing this. So our gratitude to each one of you for attending these classes, because if you did not have the desire, none of this would happen. So it began with your desire to attend these classes to learn something and maybe apply it in a practical way in your life. Right? So we can chant for all of you right now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thanks to your family too for allowing you to attend these sessions, for giving you the time and space to do it. But who is the ultimate cause for all of this? The ultimate doer is Krishna, correct? Without Krishna residing in your heart, prompting you to attend this class, none of this would have happened. And of course, we are all here because of Krishna, but more than that, Krishna's great devotee, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. So without Prabhupada's instructions for us who are practicing devotees on how to preach, how to make outreach efforts, how to connect a Jivatma back to Krishna, you and I would not be here. So the ultimate cause is Krishna. And then Krishna's pure devotees also help us come back to him. So anything good that comes in our life, we can understand that the cause is Krishna. That means anything that bad that happens, you can understand that it is your own doing, but still Krishna has a special lesson there for you, a lesson planned for you. So certainly we should endeavor to do more good, because then we know Krishna is in our life. So ultimately, the cause is Krishna. So now Krishna is going to come back to the topic of the gunas and give some additional information on gunas again. Krishna is going to say again that these three gunas bind us and they determine our state of consciousness. That even being in the sattva guna stage is not good enough to go back to the spiritual world. I was hearing an interesting analogy when I was listening to some lecture today. I thought it was very fitting to share this with you. So when you go to a doctor, you want to know that the doctor is very good at diagnosing problems. Your first priority and worry is not going to be how nicely he speaks or how good a human being he is. That is secondary. The first thing you want to know is he well qualified and does he have a very good success rate in curing people. You don't care for anything else. Similarly, Krishna also doesn't care, although he appreciates that you're in Sattva Guna, he doesn't care for your Sattva Guna. If you're not connected to him, what is the point of you being a good human being? In Krishna's eyes, you cannot be a good human being if you're not connected to him. So that is why even Sattva Guna is not a qualification for you to enter the spiritual worlds. Okay, so what? You're a nice person, you're doing nice things, you're helping others. Krishna will certainly take care of you, but he's not going to take care of you spiritually. So Krishna is also seeing, are you qualified to come into the spiritual world? Are you reaching out to Paramatma? So again here with the three gunas, Krishna is talking about wisdom, understanding, action, the resoluteness of the person, and what they actually experience. So again, you will see a quick summary here. Krishna is saying these three gunas, when they intertwine with each other, they become a very tight rope. And he is asking you to cut this rope. But you can only cut the rope if you're aware that it is present and that it is holding you back. So Krishna is saying, let go of this rope and just get attached to me instead. So Krishna very beautifully says, when acharyas say do's and don'ts, to even come to the sattvagun stage, these practices may feel like poison in the beginning. But once you habituate yourself to doing the right thing, then it becomes like nectar. And therefore, sattvagun actually helps you come to that stage where you search for self-realization. Whereas in rajagun, everything seems like nectar because your mindset is short term. But at the end, it becomes poison because you realize, well, that was not it. Then you go search for something else because you're just trying to chase pleasures. Whereas tamogun is made of illusion. It's complete with sleep, laziness, and delusion due to Maya. So here, for example, you could say Sattvagun could be, a child has to study hard if they want to pass the exam and move to the next level and the next level and the next level. So that means some amount of sacrifice is necessary in the beginning until they complete their education, and later on they can think about enjoying themselves. Whereas in Rajagun, it's like the child wants to constantly enjoy, does not want to put in time and effort for study. So, yes, enjoying seems to be the right thing to do because time is very short, but later on they will have problems in life. So, this kind of commitment suggests that you are willing to sacrifice short term pleasures for long term gain. That is typically the mood of those who are under the influence of sattvagun. In Rajagun, it is the opposite. I want to enjoy myself first. I don't care about hard work. Hard work I'll do later. So in Tamogun, of course, if you use the same student example, they don't even know what is right or wrong. So they're just completely lost and you can't seem to be able to reach them. That is why Tamogun is constantly compared to sleep, laziness, delusion, etc. Because you can't even reach such a person. It's so difficult. So Krishna is saying, just because you're chasing happiness, you please be very careful because that happiness is actually a trap for you. It is just like a jail cell. So similarly, even for us, doing japa may be very difficult in the beginning. It is not the fault of the mantra. It is your consciousness. Prabhupada always said, if somebody has jaundice, even if they put candy in their mouth, to them it will taste bitter. Why will it taste bitter to a person who has jaundice? Because of their disease. Once that disease is cured, they will experience the sweetness of that candy. So similarly, we are also in a disease state right now. We have committed so many sins, so many things we don't even know. So we are not able to appreciate chanting right now. But it is actually the very best medicine for us. So even if you don't like the medicine, like parents, they try to trick their children when they are giving them bitter medicine. Sometimes they may forcibly hold their hands down and try to force feed them the medicine because they know even though the child is protesting, crying, screaming, the parent knows this medicine is good for the child. So similarly, whether you like it or not, chanting will help you, but you have to force yourself to chant. In the beginning, it does not matter whether you chant properly or not. But when you see that your sins are slowly going away, how do you know your sins are going away? You don't know because the opposite is actually happening. You are happy, you're peaceful, you're calm, you're not agitated. That's how you know all your anarthas are being wiped away. Then naturally you'll get so attached to chanting, you will never want to give it up. So now is a good time for all of you to take a sankalpa for your own benefit. These 20 days that we've been here, yes, we said we will cover the Bhagavad Gita for you. But what is the one theme that you noticed over these 20 days? Chanting is the only medicine. And that's the only message we had for you all along. Is chanting will help you. Chanting will help you. Chanting will help you. It will clarify all your doubts. It'll eliminate all of the disturbances that you're experiencing. So chant, chant, chant is what we've been telling you. So it's like your father has hidden the medicine inside a gulab jamun and given it to the son and told him it's a nice fruit, you take it. And the son said, okay. And later on, when the father checks with the son, okay, so did you have the fruit? The son said, yes, I had the fruit, but I threw out the seed. So it's like you have heard all of these 18 days, 20 days actually, the different facets of the philosophy that is covered in the Bhagavad Gita. But if you throw away the seed of chanting, then what use is it? So similarly, you should also make a commitment that after today's class, you'll continue with us because chanting is the most important thing that's going to transform your life. So coming to Shloka 40, Krishna said, Natadasti prathivyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakriti jair muktam yadevi syat tribhir gunaihi. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, which is freed from these three material modes born of material nature. What is Krishna saying? Even the devatas are under the influence of the three gunas. The highest planet is Satyaloka, where Lord Brahma resides. It's also called Brahmaloka. Even Brahma is under the influence of the three gunas. So devatas also come under the influence of the three gunas. Of course, they are great personalities. They are serving the Lord in so many different capacities. But Krishna is saying, even they come under the influence. So many times you've heard Narada Muni made mistakes. Indra makes mistakes. Varuna makes mistakes. So many demigods have made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. How is that possible? It's only possible if they come under the influence of the three gunas. So for all of the mistakes that the devatas made, that we are aware of and we've heard of, they always sought repentance and forgiveness from Lord Vishnu. So in this way, you can understand what is Lord Vishnu's position, what is Lord Krishna's position. Right. So it is not a small thing. Gunas are not a small thing. They are influencing even the highest beings in the universe. They influence even the rishis. So of course, they make a mistake sometimes. We are making mistakes all the time. That's the only difference. Because we don't have that awareness. So here, Krishna is going to talk about how he's going to talk about the typical type of jobs the Varnas are supposed to undertake. Because if you are in a particular, under the influence of a particular guna, then your work should match that. So here Krishna is saying, by worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can attain perfection through performing his own work. So essentially, Krishna is saying you perform your own work. Don't try to pretend to be somebody else. Don't be a photocopy of someone else. Be your original self. Whatever, talents and intelligence Krishna has given you, with that, you have to try and serve Krishna. Yes. But Krishna is also going to say that even though the devatas also come under the influence of the three gunas, the secret formula is to simply chant. And when you chant, you are automatically in the Shuddha Sattva state. So doing Nama Japa will certainly take you back to Vaikuntha. But in the meantime, you please continue to do your work, but add chanting as part of your daily routine. So here in the 47th shloka, Krishna is saying it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. So again, Krishna is encouraging us, whatever duties that you have, you perform it very nicely. Don't worry about perfection. Whereas if you pretend to be somebody that you're not, like Arjuna was ready to become a sannyas, even though he was not qualified to become a sannyas. Even though he may pretend to be a sannyas, that will not purify him. It would be better for him to be a imperfect kshatriya than to pretend to be a perfect sannyasi. That is essentially what Krishna is saying here. So what is Arjuna's nature? He is a kshatriya. He's always going to be ready to fight and defend. That is his nature. So he should do the best that he can, utilizing the nature that has been bequeathed to him so that he can avoid sinful reactions. So that doesn't mean becoming a sannyasi frees him up from all sins. So it's an eye-opener, that particular shloka, the 47th shloka. So as we said, don't try to be a photocopy. Your original self is beautiful. Krishna will appreciate if you do your duties to the best of your capacity. So coming to the last section, here Krishna says in the 55th shloka, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatpatah tato mam tatpato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Bhaktya mam abhijanati, not jnana mam, not karma mam. Krishna says you can only understand me through bhakti. Because with bhakti, you are invested in Krishna. With karma, jnana, dhyana, you have zero investment in Krishna. So one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So again, Krishna is saying, you do bhakti, you will come back to me. And bhakti begins with Shravanam Kirtanam. Bhakti yoga is the way to that wonderful place where there is eternal peace and eternal bliss, where you're always enjoying yourself with Krishna. That is what we have in the spiritual world. So here Krishna is saying, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upashritya matchittas satatam bhava. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. That means don't worry whether you're Kshatriya, you're Sannyasi, you're a Brahmana, you're a Vaishya. None of that should come into your mind. Your mind should be focused on whatever duties and responsibilities I have, I will do it to the best of my ability and I will do it for the pleasure of Krishna. The minute you add Krishna into the equation, you directly come under the protection of Krishna. He's saying it repeatedly in the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says he will be in the driver's seat once you allow him in. So there are two shlokas that are almost identical. Actually, there is one other set of shlokas also, but this is the most important one. In the 9th chapter, Krishna has said, in the last shloka of the 9th chapter, Krishna has said, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayana. There, Krishna said, engage your mind always in thinking of me, becoming my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you'll come to me. Here in the 65th shloka of the 18th chapter, Krishna is saying, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So, do you need any other proof that Krishna is personally involved in his devotees' lives? Krishna is saying, you will come to me without fail if you do these 4 things. And he is promising you that. Mam evaishi satyam te. Krishna is making a promise. Again, you will say, but then Krishna is sometimes breaking his promise also. But not when his devotees say that. So, the final conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita is here in the 66th shloka. Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So sometimes this is a controversial shloka because people don't necessarily understand what this means. Now, Krishna has said that only through bhakti you can understand me. There is a wonderful pastime of the Brahmanas' wives in the Srimad Bhagavatam. One day, Lord Krishna and Balaram are in the forest. That day, they did not take, none of the boys took lunch from home that day. They were going to do, because Krishna had already arranged for their prasadam elsewhere. So suddenly the boys tell Krishna and Balaram they are very hungry, but then none of them had got their food. They had all told their parents, we don't need anything today. Krishna is taking care of us. He's giving us a treat. So Krishna tells the young boys, pretty close by, there are Brahmanas who are performing great yajna. They are doing yajna so that their next life they can go to Swargaloka, to go enjoy themselves. Go tell them, Krishna and Balaram are here and they are asking for, they are hungry and they are asking for something to eat. So the boys very obediently go to the Brahmanas and the boys glorify the Brahmanas, saying, you are great personalities. You're always dedicated in your service. Krishna and Balaram have sent us. They are hungry. Won't you give us something to eat? And the Brahmanas don't even respond. They just ignore because they are so busy with their yajna. So the boys are very disappointed. Krishna has said, go and ask, they'll give. But nobody gave them anything. They were not even acknowledged. So they go back to Krishna and say, see, this is what happened. And Krishna laughs. He tells them, this time you go back, go and ask the Brahmanas' wives because they are the ones who are cooking. For the yajna, you have to offer bhoga to the Lord, no? So he told them, you go talk to the wives now. Don't go trouble the brahmanas, you go to the wives. So the boys go back, and all the wives are cooking, massive feast to be offered as part of the yajna. And the boys say the same thing. Krishna and Balaram are nearby. They are hungry. Please give us some food. The minute the wives of the Brahmanas hear the names Krishna and Balaram, they just pack up everything and rush out of the house. They said, yes, 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 we are ready to serve Krishna and Balaram. We've heard about all of their pastimes. And they go running to Krishna. So how do you understand? The Brahmanas, when they were told Krishna and Balaram are here, they just ignored. The wives who are not well-versed in Vedic scriptures, their duty was to cook and take care of the household. That's all their duty was. Take care of the children, serve their in-laws, be nice wives, be nice mothers. That's the job of a woman, to take care of family and serve and support the husband very nicely. How is it that the wives ran out? The husband said, where are you going? The father said, where are you going? The son said, where are you going? They were prevented from going. Normally, chaste wives do not do this. Certainly not in the midst of a yajna that is going on. Because no yajna is complete unless the wife is seated by the husband. It's a beautiful pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam actually. If you read the prayers offered by the wives to Krishna, when Krishna tells them, I'm very happy that you've come here to serve me. All your prasadam is very nice, very delicious. But now you please go back. Your husbands are waiting for you. Your fathers are waiting for you. Your sons are waiting for you. And the wives protest. They say to Krishna, since we have now seen you, we have already surrendered to you. Since we've already surrendered to you, how can you send us back? And anyway, they will not accept us because it's inappropriate for us to have left the house. Krishna tells them, don't worry. I've already taken care of that. So what was Krishna's instructions to the wife? Even though they were ready, 18.66, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. So the wife said, I'm already surrendered. Now why are you sending me back, Krishna? Didn't you say you will accept me? Isn't that what you promised in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 66th shloka of the 18th chapter? Why are you sending us back? Because their duty was important. Essentially, Krishna was saying, I have already accepted you. Now you go back and continue to do your duties and responsibilities. Don't worry about anything else. Do not fear. So once you're surrendered to Krishna, you are anyway part of Krishna. What is it that you have to worry about? So in this case, Krishna was demonstrating to us, although he is just what is this? This happens before Kali Leela. So Krishna would have been maybe 7 or 8 years old when he sends the Brahmanas' Patnis back. Krishna was saying, you don't have to be well educated to be my devotee. You just have to have faith. And do you know why the wives responded the way they did, as opposed to the husbands, those Brahmanas who were doing the yajna? Because the Brahmanas' Patnis had never seen Krishna or Balaram. But every day they would hear, Krishna did this, Balaram did this. So every day their ears were filled with Harikatha. And because they were constantly hearing about Krishna, the minute they heard Krishna's name, they just rushed out. Whereas the Brahmanas were too busy with their Vedic scriptures. Hence, the gopis are the topmost in expressing their love for Krishna. Even though all the gopis that you hear about, many of them were already married, they already had children, they were already older than Krishna. It's just that this is what Krishna is asking us to do. In these instances, Krishna is saying, Dharma, essentially what Krishna is saying here, this is an important message for you to understand. There are so many dharmas. In the Mahabharata, when Yudhishthir asks Bhishma Dev as he's laying on the bed of arrows, whole lot of questions about dharma, because he was suddenly confused. There's three dharma, there is this dharma, that dharma, that dharma. So many dharmas are there. So many of them will conflict with each other, apparently conflict with each other. So when Krishna says abandon all varieties of religion, he is saying the only dharma that should be your top priority is your surrender to me. Because all other dharmas are subservient to this one dharma, that the Jivatma is eternally a servant of Krishna. And therefore, servant means submissive. Submissive means to surrender. Servant means to do exactly what the master wants. So the only dharma that matters for all of us is that Krishna says, you belong to me. You are meant to serve me. Don't try to enjoy yourself on your own. It is going to backfire on you. So this doesn't mean that Krishna says, surrender to me and then ignore your family. It simply means I should be your top priority. That Krishna should be our top priority in our life. Everything else becomes secondary. It doesn't mean everything else is not important. It is just not as important as having Krishna in your life. Then Krishna says, I will deliver you from all sin. Do not fear. So you shouldn't think, oh, if I do bhakti to Krishna, my family members will abandon me. This is not the fear that you should have. You should be bold. I belong to Krishna, Krishna belongs to me. But at the same time, do all of your other duties and responsibilities in a very nice way. This particular pastime of Draupadi's Vastraharan. Actually, Jayadratha is related to Draupadi's one of the brothers-in-law, you could say. He wanted to marry her, he tries to kidnap her, even though she was already married to the 5 Pandavas. He was not successful, he gets defeated. But somehow or the other, the Pandavas do not kill him. They set him free. So when she insults Jayadratha, he immediately meditates and prays to Lord Shiva. And his boon that he asks Lord Shiva is, I want to destroy the Pandavas. At that time, the Lord Shiva tells him, it's not possible because they're personally protected by Lord Krishna. But you can certainly put up a very good fight against them. That boon I can give you, but I cannot give you the boon of destroying the Pandavas because that's not in my hands. It's in Krishna's hands. So then you know what happens now. They trap Abhimanyu using the Chakravyuha formation. This was actually designed by Dronacharya. And so personally, they all become responsible for Abhimanyu's death because they had trapped him in an unethical way. It was not a fair fight. Hearing that Abhimanyu had died, Arjuna takes a vow saying, either I will kill Jayadratha or If Jayadratha is alive at the time of sunset, I will walk into the fire. Now he had taken this vow without consulting Krishna. So sometimes we also become a little rash in making up our minds. So now he tries to accomplish the vow that he uttered, and sunset has come, and Jayadratha has been well protected by the Kaurava army, specifically by Duryodhana, because Duryodhana is thrilled. All he has to do is protect Jayadratha, and Arjuna is going to walk into the fire. He doesn't have to fight him. What better opportunity do you need to eliminate one of the greatest warriors? So they were successful in protecting Jayadratha. And then the sun sets, and Arjuna is thinking, what do I do now? Well, Krishna says, you are the one who said you're going to walk into the fire. Why did you take such a vow without talking to me? You created a problem for yourself, and now you're asking me to help. Of course, Krishna is very compassionate. It's at that time that Krishna uses his chakra to hide the sun. And everybody thinks, oh, the sun has set. Jayadratha comes out, taunts Arjuna. Duryodhana taunts Arjuna, saying, Acha, so let us see you walk into the fire now. At that time, Krishna says, yes, shoot your arrow now, directly at Jayadratha. So Arjuna simply follows Krishna's instruction. And Krishna gives him instructions on how to shoot it and where should the head land and on whose lap. So the head lands in the lap of the father. The father's name is Vridakshattra. And Vridakshattra had taken a vow that whoever is responsible for his son's head falling off will immediately be destroyed. So the head lands in the father's lap in a very far off place. And getting scared, Vridakshattra himself, tosses the head of his son off his lap because he was so shocked. And he also dies in this way. So sometimes we don't always go to the Lord for guidance. We are hasty. Still, for his devotee, Krishna will always protect them. So sometimes we also make very emotional decisions and then get ourselves into trouble. But if we are sincere, then the Lord will always protect us. So surrendering to Krishna is the most important message here. So this one shloka summarizes the entire Bhagavad Gita. It all started with Arjuna saying, I don't know what is right, what is wrong, should I kill, should I not kill? How can I kill? What will happen? Krishna says none of those questions should occur in your mind. The only question is, you have to surrender to Krishna, and then Krishna will take care of everything. That's why Krishna says everything has already been organized by me. Only thing you need to do is cooperate now. Yes, so we have to cooperate with Krishna. How can we cooperate with Krishna? By following his instructions. So, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Krishna is taking personal responsibility. Why does Krishna need to use the word aham if he does not care for you? So we should not be afraid. We are under Krishna's protection as long as We are seeking his shelter. So this is the most important message. Mam ekam. Krishna is not saying surrender to this person or that devata or this, or your parents or your children. Mam ekam. Krishna wants exclusive surrender from you. Not little bit for this, I will go here. Whenever I want Krishna, I will go there. Krishna is saying all or nothing. You surrender to me completely, otherwise don't even come here. Don't even look in my direction. So that means Krishna is saying you have to surrender to him alone. How can you learn to surrender to Krishna alone? Again, by hearing, reading, chanting, following the instructions of Acharya. So now you've understood the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. After 17 chapters, we are coming to this simple conclusion. Krishna is saying, you are my servant, you will always be my servant, and therefore you should follow my instructions. And don't worry, because I am your master, I will always protect you. That means even for us in our life, we will be faced with so many different challenges. When those challenges come, you will be tempted, let me stop chanting for a while until I get my life back in order. Let me stop attending classes for a while until I get my life in order. This you cannot do. That is what surrender means. You don't stop doing your bhakti just because things are not going right in your life. So if you've taken a sankalpa to chant, to attend classes, stick to that sankalpa as much as possible. If you're not able to do it, then you should cry to Krishna saying, you are putting me in situations that's not allowing me. Please help me. So you have to surrender to Krishna alone. If you do, you will achieve not just peace of mind, but also bliss. And you will go back to him because Krishna has promised to take you back. And of course, by doing this, Krishna says he himself will clear all of your sinful reactions. So the end result of hearing this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself will tell you what is the Falashruti. Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshvabhidhasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mame vaishyatya samshayah. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. So Krishna is saying, whoever studies the Bhagavad Gita and teaches and preaches this message of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says for them, devotional service, I've already given them that devotional service. And they will come back to me after they have completed their preaching activities. And Krishna says, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. After all, what do the acharyas do? They travel around the world, they preach, they get the jivatmas to practice Krishna consciousness, and therefore they become so dear to Krishna because they are bringing back Krishna's lost souls back to him. Therefore, for anybody who is endeavoring to connect another jivatma to Krishna, Krishna is saying such a servant is dear to me. And he's saying there will be nobody else higher than this servant who is connecting the jivatma back to Krishna. Because you are doing the toughest work, which is to break the cycle of illusion for the jivatma and telling them, wake up, there is your real home, go back to Krishna. So that is the most important thing here. So we have to encourage others to also attend the class because when they receive this beautiful knowledge, they themselves and you yourself will become very dear to Krishna. So Prabhupada has said preaching is the essence. In case you're not able to connect others to Krishna, then Krishna says, at least, can you read? If you read and study the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, all your sins I will wipe out. Essentially, by reading the Bhagavad Gita and studying the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I will accept that you are worshipping me, but through studying my instructions in the Bhagavad Gita. Well, if you can't read, can you listen? Krishna says, even if you listen to the Bhagavad Gita, innumerable times you can listen to the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, I will wipe out all your sins and I will give you a place in Swargaloka, in the higher planets. So first Krishna is saying, preach. If you can't preach, read and study. If you can't read and study, then at least hear. For all three, Krishna is offering the Falashruti to you. Then you, because he's going to give you credit for that. So you see how compassionate Krishna is. But you should be listening attentively, not inattentively. So then Sanjaya says, Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharah, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutihi Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So now a devotee of the Lord is telling you what is the Falashruti from a devotee's perspective. Remember, Krishna says, I will uphold my devotees' words. So here Sanjaya is saying, wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there will certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So even having a Bhagavad Gita in your home can help you achieve this kind of success, because the real secret is to invite Krishna into your house and of course invite Krishna into your heart. Because once Krishna is formally invited, then you are under his protection. Of course, certificates become important along the way because you're attending class. Many of you would have attempted the quiz for the 18 chapters. I think some of the quiz links are yet to be posted. Hopefully they'll be posted tonight. Yes, certificates are important, but Krishna is not, worried about your certificates. He is much more worried about, are you surrendering to him? What is the best way you can be the best servant is to actually follow the master's instructions. So please do share this message with others. So now what happens? We are planning to do a 21-day challenge. It'll start tomorrow. I will roll out the enrollment form for this. There'll be some nice prizes that you can win when you enroll in this. And of course, most importantly, you will also stick to what is part of your sankalpa. So one is, we would like you to chant at least 2 rounds of the Maha Mantra every day for the next 21 days. And you have to come and attend our morning class, where we're also teaching shloka recitation and we're doing the prayer series from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Monday through Saturday, we want to see you in the morning. And Sunday evenings, you can attend our Bhagavatam class. So if you can do this for 21 days, then we have some nice, exciting prizes for you. But
Hello?
you have to be there for 21 days. Okay, all right. Any questions on this particular chapter?
Hello, I'm Rushali. 18th chapter is completed.
Yes, today we just finished.
and if we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Om daily, then we will means we'll get relaxed and will feel good. We'll chant every
Yes.
day.
Yes, certainly. You can try.
And you said we'll plan to go to this this it is there no is Hastinapur. I said you, then you didn't said anything for this. There were Mahabharat shooting was there in Hastinapur. I said you.
What was there yesterday? I'm sorry.
What? Hastinapur, it was there no Mahabharat. That shooting was there no. I said,
Yes.
I said you will go. Then you said you will go afterwards. You didn't reply anything.
Yeah, I do not know if I have been there once, but
We can go all team members and all. We can all go
yeah,
in
why
this.
not? We can do a yatra. That'll be nice. We'll let you know when we plan the next yatra from our temple. Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments?
Namaste, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, in the sixth shloka, you mentioned about actions regarding actions. I mean, one more shloka, Sarva Dharma Parityaja. That shloka, sir. Krishna himself, yes, you clearly told us. So many devotees will misunderstand this shloka. Krishna himself, he forced to Arjuna to fight. Means that is also means one dharma.
Yes.
But Krishna intentionally told to fight, to do it. Means to follow the dharma.
Mm-hmm.
But in the shloka, Sarva Dharma Parityaja. In the 12th chapter also same relevant shloka is there. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa jnana dhyanat vishishyate. Dhyanat karma palatyagaha tyagachanti ranantaram. Means one aspect is fully forgive everything. You forgive everything. Just remember me. I will take care of you. One quote is like that. But in one time you do it. Whether whatever happens, result also you give up. I will take care of you. Means this type of dualities, how can devotee can understand in right way, Mataji?
Yeah. That's why I said this shloka will be misunderstood. The misunderstanding is that Krishna is saying nothing matters except me. No, Krishna is saying when there is a conflict of dharmas, then the most important dharma for you to follow is my instructions. Because surrender means you're following the instructions of the master. So all along, Krishna has told Arjuna, get up and fight, stand up and fight. Then that is exactly what he should do as a servant. He should follow the instructions of the master. Because following that instruction will benefit not just him, but also everybody else. So Krishna is constantly using all of us as his instruments also. But we have to be ready to be instruments in Krishna's hands. So, for example, as we were discussing, I do not know what time you joined, but to just put together this one 18-day, 20-day session takes so much effort. So, unless everybody is cooperating on so many fronts, from getting the posters on time to advertising it, to setting up the WhatsApp group, to volunteers who make the calls, to posting the messages, to creating the certificates, to creating the slides, you see how many people are involved in one activity. So if there was no cooperation, so Krishna has told us to preach. But preaching is not a small thing. It requires so much effort and resources. So Krishna is saying, be busy serving me. And the best way that Arjuna could serve Krishna is by fulfilling his instructions. When Krishna said fight, then that's exactly what Arjuna should do. Because the whole Bhagavad Gita began with, should I do this or should I do that? Krishna is saying, right, Kula Dharma or Kshatriya Dharma, that was Arjuna's internal conflict. Here, Krishna is saying, neither Kula Dharma nor Kshatriya Dharma. What I am saying is what is the priority. If I am telling you to fight, then you should set aside your other dharmas. But that is the instruction Krishna is giving. So whatever instruction Krishna gives you and that you follow will always be for your ultimate good. Nowhere in the Gita has Krishna encouraged Arjuna to give up fighting. All Krishna is saying is that my instructions take precedence over all other dharmas. And what was Krishna's instruction to Arjuna? To fight.
Yes, Master.
So Krishna just reoriented Arjuna towards doing his duty as a Kshatriya, but for his pleasure, for Krishna's pleasure, not whether Arjuna was pleased or not. Essentially, Krishna is saying, I don't care whether you are happy or sad, because you have to fight. If you fight, you win, you'll be happy. If you fight, you lose and you're dead, you're not happy. Krishna is saying, your feelings, you set it aside. You do what I want you to do. So a devotee will prioritize what Krishna wants, because that is the most important thing. And therefore, Krishna is saying, surrender to me. What does surrender to me mean? Surrender to me doesn't mean Krishna is saying, do bhajan on me 24/7. It's not very practical. Krishna, I think, mentions in the 4th chapter to Arjuna that we should not unnecessarily disturb a person's mind from their duties and responsibilities, especially if we know they're not ready. I think it's in the 4th chapter. So if everybody runs away from their core duties and responsibilities, can society function?
No, Mataji.
There'll just
It
be
won't happen.
chaos, right?
Yeah.
So Krishna is certainly not encouraging that. That is why the 18th chapter began with Arjuna's question, Tyaga or sannyas? And Krishna again said both are good for renunciation, but in my opinion, Tyaga is better. That means he has answered Arjuna's question that Arjuna should not leave the battlefield. Rather, he should renounce his activities for the pleasure of Krishna. Here, renouncing means renouncing what you think is right and wrong. Because we also concoct so many things, right? Oh, this is right, that is wrong. In our own mind. Krishna is saying, please set that aside because you are speaking nonsense. You follow my instruction.
I completely agree, Mataji, but there is a contradiction. If you see, you mentioned about 4th chapter. In the 4th chapter, if you go to 3rd chapter, one shloka is there. Yadyada charati shreshtaha tattadeve tarojanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. In another chapter, tasma shastram pramanam te karya karyo vyavasto. Means what is right, what is wrong, what is doable and what is not doable, it declares by Shastra only. In other context, Yadada Acharati Shrestha, if you compare it, those who are Shreshtas, those are the examples for following people. Am I right, Mataji? Means they will take as a
that is
ideal.
The Karma Yoga section, right?
Yes, madam. Yes,
you
ma'am.
have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
remember the theme of the first 6 chapters.
Correct, correct.
Krishna's focus there is on Karma Yoga.
So the highest Shreshtik person, Shrestha is Krishna himself, right? The entire why the entire world is not moving through highest shreshtik activity.
Because they are disobeying Krishna.
That's what Mataji. These slokas, every word is beautiful, but way of understanding one person to another person without proper guru, we definitely misinterpret. The thing is, Mataji, if the suppose in the suktas also, in the Vishnu Purana, Narayana Sukta, and different suktas, what it is guiding us, in one Purana, one God is highlighting. Means those God only the highest creation and highest all boons are coming from him only, like that it is misinterruption. How the devotees will be careful this type, because all are truth only. One of our
The
ISKCON.
Puranas are divided into three. Again,
Yeah.
as per the three gunas. So a set of Puranas that fall under Sattvagun, a set of Puranas that fall under Rajagun, and a set of Puranas that fall under the Tamagun category. So Krishna is simply catering to everybody. He knows that not everybody is in the Shuddha Sattva state. At the same time, Krishna is so kind and compassionate. He knows that he needs to keep a guiding light for everybody, including for those under the influence of Tamagun. So there are certain Puranas that are meant for people who are under the influence of Tamagun. If they follow those instructions, they will slowly come to Rajagun, and then from Rajagun, if they follow that, they will come to Sattvagun state. So certain Puranas are meant to glorify certain personalities, and that should not be surprising. But what is Shuddha Sattva state is explained to you here in the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna knows that we are not all ready, but at the same time, he is catering to where we are. Actually, His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu makes a wonderful statement. I hope I can capture it properly. He says, from your place, by His grace, at your own pace. Wherever you are right now, at our pace, we can access Krishna's grace. So we are not all equal in our readiness to accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. But still, Krishna is always there to help us. For some of us, it will be a very gradual process. So if you are under the influence of Tamagun, then Krishna is saying, from Tamagun, you come to Rajagun. Then from Rajagun, you come to Sattvagun. Sattvagun acts as a good foundation for practicing spirituality. So from there, you have to come to Vishuddha Sattvagun. So it's just Krishna catering to all of our different levels of consciousness and readiness. So even you are aware, right, that the Puranas are broken up, divided by these three gunas, correct?
Correct.
So if you are in that guna, then you will follow the instructions there. So if you are in Rajagun, then you will be, as Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, you will be worshipping whom?
Correct.
Devatas, right?
Correct.
So he's going to encourage you to worship the Devatas. Actually, Krishna says, for you to have faith to worship the Devatas, that faith also is given by me. Now, he also calls it improper worship. But even for you to have faith in the Devatas, that faith is being given to you by Krishna. He knows that chalo, he's not ready to come to me, yes, but at least trajectory-wise, he's at least headed in the right direction, maybe.
I completely accepting Mataji, but here the problem is one of the Akashat patitam toyam yada gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaram keshavam pratigacchati. Means whatever the water rain is coming from sky, it falls to earth and forms a flow. It reaches to lakes, follows by rivers, and finally it goes to ocean. The same way, even you offer any namaskara, any offers to do any devatas, it finally reaches to Lord Krishna only. Like that, one quote is there, right? The person who are maybe whether he is in tamogun or rajogun or sattvagun, whatever it may be, the final offer will go to Krishna, right? But again, the boons, why it will be delay for direct praying to Krishna and different demigods to God, again the boons will be vary, right, Mataji?
The boons vary based on your desire. If your desire is to serve a particular devata, then whatever that devata is authorized to sanction for you on behalf of Krishna, that's what will get sanctioned. So everything is based on your desire. Okay, so Krishna is saying ultimately I am the enjoyer. So if you're the enjoyer, why should you worry about whether your enjoyment is coming through the devatas or directly from me to you? That's your question. I think ultimately that's your question.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so you're saying Krishna is ultimately saying, I'm accepting. Yes, I'm accepting it, but in the mood that you are delivering it to me. If you don't know who I am, then how can I come into your life? Because then you're telling, then Krishna has to be like an autocrat, dictating to you, you either do this or else. But that's not Krishna's mood at all. You come to me of your own. Krishna never is, you do this or else. Can you love a person who threatens you?
No, Mataji.
So love has to come off its own. You have to have a desire to love Krishna. Until then, Krishna says, okay, fine, if you want to worship the Devata, I will give you that faith to worship that particular Devata.
Correct. Agree, Mataji.
So he is waiting for you to recognize that he is the actual enjoyer. When you recognize that and acknowledge that, then you've become a devotee of Krishna. And you act on it. Right? So Prabhupada uses this analogy. He says, let's say you want to go to Mumbai. You go to the train station. Will you say, all trains are traveling on the tracks, let me just get into any train? Will you arrive in Mumbai?
No, Mataji. Definitely destination is required. But there is another analogy. Suppose if you take mathematics as an example, best example is 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. Means even if you multiple channels also, leading station is only that final destination is that month. That means this is also one type of a contradictory example only. I am acknowledging your whatever you are saying, but this type of argument in people, how can we give a correct encounter to them?
Why argue with people at all? Let them follow what is comfortable. We are not in a competition to defeat somebody else. We are
No,
here to
Mataji.
defeat.
It is not. It is not for defeating. Means as a devotee, we will feel we should not fail in front of us.
We should not.
We are
Sorry,
not
what is that?
we are not a provocating devotees, but
Yeah.
the people who are in pure mode, if they, some people will be have a one provocating nature. At the time, a devotee should not fail. He has to give strong reply. That is the
Yeah, you
intention.
can give
Nothing.
a strong reply if you are well versed in Shastra. Otherwise, Prabhupada says better to keep your opinions to yourself. Because we are, see, this kind of argument and counter argument doesn't serve us in any way, because some people will hold on to their logic and argument based on whatever they have heard. So you have to just simply wait for them to patiently to come to that realization. And the best way to do it is to pray for them and say, hey, Krishna, please reveal the truth to them. And one day they will understand. We are not self-realized souls to get into debates with people. Even self-realized souls don't get into unnecessary debates.
Okay.
But that comes with maturity, right? When you say, I'm a devotee of Krishna, the first thing you have to acknowledge is, I know nothing. Somehow or the other, Krishna has rescued me. We don't get any badge of honor from Krishna for defending him. He does not need to be defended. Yes. You have to be really well versed in Shastra. Second, you have to gauge the readiness of that person to be open to new information or new knowledge. If that person is resistant, then what's the point? You will just keep going around in circles. They will say you are wrong, you will say they are wrong, and it will go on.
Exactly, Mataji. That only happening. The real scenario that only.
I would say, please don't do that. It's
Sure.
not necessary. It is not worth it. Best thing you can do is to pray for them, and maybe Krishna will guide them appropriately.
Thank you, Mataji. So many queries is there, but some more devotees are waiting. Thank you for your patience.
See, the thing about being a student of the scriptures is that the more you read, the more you recognize how much you don't know.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. So you have to acknowledge, I do not know anything. I only know Krishna. Krishna makes me happy. And that's why I'm practicing Krishna consciousness. That should be your only message.
Sure, Mataji.
Yeah. Because there is no end to these kind of conversations.
Yes, Mataji. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji, for introducing that Mahavatar Narasimha movie. We went, my family went day before it.
A beautiful movie,
Monday,
very well done. Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter and we went first show as well as second show continued. 2 times we visited on single day. My daughter
Very
and son
nice.
loved very nice. They did not allow me to go to home again. The second time only we watched the movie. Then only they felt happy. Thank you. Thanks for introducing that
Very
movie.
nice. I would encourage everybody else to please go watch that movie. It's there in all the theaters. And it's a phenomenal movie. The graphics is fantastic. And I can assure you that you will cry after watching that movie. Or during that movie, you will cry. Because you can feel the devotion of Prahlad Maharaj for Lord Vishnu. Then, of course, when Lord Narasimha comes out of the stamba, it's an electrifying moment.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Cheppandi.
Hey, Hare Krishna.
Jai Prahalad.
Jai Praharaj.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. I think there are, if you have any personal questions that you want to consult with us on, feel free to drop me a note directly on WhatsApp, and I'll do my best to guide you and help you. If I'm not able to do it, certainly I will reach out to any other senior devotee who can guide you. So thank you very much. So I will post the challenge, the 21-day challenge. You can register for it. And as I said, some nice prizes are there for you. Of course, these will all be related to nice books that you will get from us, and some nice prasadam from the temple as well. So, but then you have to be committed to it for 21 days. So I hope all of you are ready, and you will be somehow or the other able to make it. All right. Any other questions pertaining to the chapter or the sessions? So please do post your feedback on the WhatsApp group on your experience over these 18 chapters. What did you learn? What did you gain from it? And how are you planning to change your life? That will be really, really essential for you. So thank you very much. Vancha kalpadarupyascha kripa sindhubhi evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Thank you, devotees. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.